right next door to my cousins in Anthony and Christian. They always came over, whether it was to play with toys, video games, hike in the backyard, or play hide and seek inside the house. So many good times I had with them in particular. And just so you know, Anthony, I love you to death. But Christian in particular would always want to stay over and spend time with me the most. Christian ended up being one, if not the closest cousins I had. He was more than just a cousin to me. He was like my best friend for most of my life growing up. My partner in crime, as we'd always get in trouble together quite often. I have so many memories with Christian, and they're constantly flowing through my mind. I remember times when we were playing as teammates in a game called Halo together against some older cousins of mine from my dad's side of the family. They were always kicking our ass and were generally better than me and Christian, which is to be expected, as they're older than us. But the more that we played together, the better that we got, and we started kicking their asses, making every game competitive, which is great because me and Christian were both very we hate to lose, so competitive. I have memories of Christian when we would go to the parks like Universal or Disney. He truly had an amazing personality. Unique one, and he was just an amazing person. And I always loved having him around. He was always so funny, and he always gave me a good reason to smile and laugh. It was just something that came natural to him. He was such a clown at times, and he'd always make some of the stupidest jokes and had no problem laughing at himself and get you to smile or laugh from it. I have memories of Christian as a child when I was pretending to be a movie director. We used to make kinds of impersonation clips and short films using my mother's camera. I remember one time where we were trying to reenact a scene from Napoleon Dynamite, in which Christian was saying some lines from a character called Pedro. The guy could go somewhat like this. He says, "I don't think I can do it," or something. He said something like that, but just much more dumb. And then I was supposed to, like in the movie, slap him and tell him that he can, or something like that. But I was supposed to fake slap him or like graze him, but I ended up completely, just utterly slapping him like across the face and totally absorbed it. And I was hoping that maybe he'd lean away or something, but he just completely took it. But he was always a good sport, and I let him slap me back, so that's all right. I also have memories that were not so happy, that I wish I could go back to and maybe change something. Christian and me were very close, and we also dealt with many of the same issues and struggles. I remember him telling me one time that he was so sad and depressed because he had such hard times making friends, and that people would bully him and make fun of him for being overweight, and that he just felt so alone and that nobody could really understand him. These things that I myself struggled with and felt really allowed me to bond with Christian. I told him how special he was to me and how much I loved him and his family loved him. How it doesn't matter if the world doesn't see your value or give you a chance to see just how funny and great a person you are. Because the only opinion that matters is what God thinks of you. I always felt that I had to be a role model to my younger cousins, to people in general, more like an example of what you can do if you work hard, ignore all the noise of life, and just trust in God and believe in yourself, even when you feel like nobody else does. Seeing Christians struggle with these same issues of loneliness and lack of self-worth was one of the major driving forces in my life that compelled me to struggle through high school and eventually college to become an aerospace engineer. I remember Christian being there on the day that I first went to Penn State to talk to the guidance counselor about my major. He told me, based on your high school performance in math and your SAT scores, you might want to consider another major. I don't know if aerospace engineering is right for you. And he went on trying to convince me that some other majors are what I wanted to do with my life. And I remember Christian telling me that I should go for it and screw that guy. Prove him wrong, and if that's what you want to do. Christian, even though he was states away from me, he would always text me every other week or every few weeks asking how I was doing in college, and always trying to cheer me up and cheer me on when I was depressed or stressed out in my mind. He was always there to support me and congratulate me on every accomplishment that I made. The fact that we grew up and life separated us never stopped him. He was such a kind-hearted kid who just wanted to be accepted for who he was. He had a beautiful soul and personality, and this imperfect, cruel world took advantage of him. To me, Christian's life, however short, can teach us so many things. He was never perfect, but at the end of the day, we're all human, and we'll never be perfect. But like Christian, we all struggle with different internal difficulties and challenges. We all long for acceptance, friendship, and love. And like Christian, we should all love God with all our hearts. We should all be accepting of others, cherish family, be open and honest with each other so that nobody has to ever endure loneliness and grief in silence. It can be as easy as just making someone laugh and smile. I feel like we all collectively, as a whole, failed Christian in life. And that we could have done a little more, especially me. But I know for a fact that Christian would absolutely never want his death to result in distrust, hurt, and disorder. He would want us all to become closer and have a positive impact on ourselves and others. I lost more than just a cousin. I lost my best friend. I lost my wingman. My little brother. One of the few people who would actively take the time to hear me out and seek me out. This world just became a lot lonelier for me. But I promise, Christian, that I'll never give up. I'll continue to make you proud in everything that I do. That I'll always be supportive and helpful to others. I'll do my best to open up and be more interconnected with the rest of the family because I know you loved family. And I promise you, Christian, I'll never forget you. You will always live on in my actions and my memories. And if I'm ever blessed enough to have children of my own, in particular a son, that I will name him Christian after you, and I will make sure he knows about you. You always had to be first in everything you did. And it looks like you finally were able to beat me at something other than basketball. It comforts me to know that you're in peace, though. And I can't wait to talk to you again one day and tell you all my crazy stories. But until then, I'm going to miss you. I know you loved me, and I love you. God bless.